Hey there, welcome to or welcome back to No Pants Profits. My name is Richard and today I am coming to you from the Carnival Mardi Gras. And more specifically than just that, I'm coming to you from Carnival Kitchen on the Carnival Mardi Gras. And I have done these classes before, and they have two different types of classes. They've got classes that are during the day, and they've got classes that are kind of a full-blown dinner. And the only one I didn't get to do last time that I was on Jubilee and Celebration is called Mission Masala Tiger. So yes, this is very strange, but I'm going to be cooking my own food tonight on a cruise ship. Usually come not to cook and clean. The good news is in this class, you don't have to clean. But yes, they have these stations set up and the chef is right there getting ready. And we are going to go into the Carnival Kitchen and we are going to learn how to cook an entire Indian meal tonight. There's not going to be much commentary from me over the course of the meal because I don't want to overtalk the chef, but if there are questions and things like that, I will let those go. But I'm going to show you the whole process. And we cook the meal, then they actually make some separate, well, when I did it before, they make some separate stuff to make it for us. The problem is we're not hungry, and this, we're not hungry because we're eating along the way. This looks like an insanely complex setup, so let's get going. And Mission Masala Tiger, I believe, is the name of this course. We're going to jump in, and I'm going to show you the whole thing. A dinner affair that you cook yourself on the Carnival ships. I know it seems weird, but stick around.
Welcome to Carnival Kitchen. My name is Steph, and I'm going to be your host for Mission Masala tonight. So I just want to say thank you for joining us. This is one of my favourite classes, so I'm looking forward to teaching you a few different techniques in this class, which will actually help you in a few other different cuisines as well. And I actually use some of the techniques in this in other cooking as well. So, in a second, Neely's going to come around with some tokens, and on there is a number. This will then assign you to one of the benches that is behind it. Once you get there are some aprons, and then you pop those on, and then we're ready to start the class. But just before you get there, obviously we're going to show you to your nearest hand washing station. So there are 3 across the classroom, and this is something that you can do at your own free will throughout the class. So if you really need to wash your hands, you can go there whenever you like. So, because this class is slightly longer than the daytime ones, I just want you to walk around at ease, because it's going to be in 2.5 hours, roughly. If you guys need the bathroom, there is 2 straight opposite the classroom, so you don't have to go far. But if you do go, just let one of us know, or even Michelle, or one of the guys who's in the front, just so we can make sure you can get back inside. Because you've locked the doors, so obviously this now is your classroom as well as mine. So you want to make sure you can get back in. You don't want any interruptions, so we can get on with the class.
Yeah, we are now set up at our station. You draw a little number. I got station at number 5 right here. Again, my primary amount of time we're going to be listening to the chef, but these are all the ingredients that we need. This is the biggest amount of ingredients I've ever seen. I'm going to camera work this the best I can with this little camera and everything like that. So we can see, oh God, looks like we got wines, we got all kinds of stuff like that. The chef is up there, and one of the cool things is we've got a few right there. I'm going to let the chef take it from here, because I don't want to talk over anything. So I'll let the chef take it from here. I'll give some commentary when the chef's not talking.
Alright. Is everyone ready? So just to start with, I'm just going to introduce you to your sections, because for most of the classes I introduce all of the ingredients, but because there is quite a lot of different ingredients here, dish by dish I will talk you through what you will be working with. Because by the time I hit coconut, garam masala, over here will be nothing. So I will do this dish by dish, because there are a lot of interesting ingredients that you probably won't have worked with before. So we'll just do it so you're a little bit more familiar at that point. So I'll just talk you through the utensils and then we'll make it start. So this is Michelle. Here's my second in Carnival Kitchen. So there's only 3 of us that look after this part of the kitchen. And he's here to give us an extra helping hand just in case we need it. So make use of him. He's very good with samosa dough. So On your inductions, you can see there are a variation of different pans and utensils. So we'll start with the smallest. You have your small saucepan on your bottom induction. On top of there, you have a small tray. And then you have a bowl with a pair of latex gloves. So the tray and the bowl is going to be for our first dish, and then the small pan is going to be for our rice. On the top induction, you have another saucepan. So this is a thick line, heavy base, all clad saucepan. So this is going to be used for our dal. This is a really good pan for stocks, soups, and sauces, because it reduces the nice consistency. On top of that, you have two non-stick frying pans, and then you also have a stainless steel frying pan. And then you have another bowl with a dough mixer. So this is going to be for your samosas. Just in front, you have a couple of different types of seasoning. So you have some Himalayan pink salt and some cracked black pepper. And then you also have some table salt. So obviously they all have different uses and tastes. So that's why we use a variation of different salts. And then just next to that, you have the utensils pan. So you have a rolling pin, a perforated spoon, and then some spatulas as well, which you use for that. Next to your utensils, you have some cutlery. So obviously in here, you've got some forks. So as we go through the dishes, we'll plate them up.
You take it sideways?
Have these to taste throughout the evening. So obviously by the time we finish the class, we'll sit you back down. And then everything that you have prepared just here, we have them prepared the same for you before dinner. So these are going to be like little mini appetizers. So as you go, start warming up the stomach for the dinner that we've prepared for you as well. Next to your cutlery pot, you have this metal pan. So this one here is for empties, anything that you no longer need. Because as you can see, the variations of ramekins and bowls, they're going to get in the way once we start to plate up. So add them to this bowl here, and then either will know you're finished, and then we can get rid of it so we make some space. So as it goes for utensils, that's everything. So we're just going to make a start on the ingredients for the first dish. So if everyone's ready, let's start. Right, so just before we go on to the first dish, chicken, I'll show you how to control the inductions as well, because we're going to use both top and bottom today. So there are two regulators for your inductions, and they are just located underneath your ingredients. And there's a left and a right hand dial, or regulator, sorry. So the left hand side controls your bottom induction, the right hand side controls your top. So obviously we're not going to be using them yet, but just when we do need them, the temperature for these are actually shown on the induction. So this is just the dial, there's nothing down here to actually show you the temperature. So these are just a little dial that you twist clockwise, and then on the top, on the left, would be for the left dial, and then the right hand side for your right, for your top. But obviously once we get to using these, I will say left hand side, 8, for example, and then just turn this to number 8, and then if you're not sure, I'll look and do that. So we're going to go on to our first dish. So this dish is the Marinating Tiger. So this is really good as a kebab. If you've got like some hot coals, cooking it over that, you get an extra tandoor kind of flavour, but it's also really, really tasty just done in a nice hot oven. So in a second, Michelle is going to bring down some chicken, just to keep it nice and fresh. So you have some chicken back. Just below that you have some cream cheese, and then you have some natural yogurt. And then you have the 6 ramekins that is at the bottom. You have some garam masala, this is some darker powder. Then you have some garlic and ginger paste, and then the other powder is a little bit lighter. This is nutmeg. Next to the nutmeg you have some lemon juice, and then at the bottom some vegetable oil, and then some cardamom pods. So this is for your chicken. So here's the chicken. So for this dish, you're going to need your medium bowl. I'm just going to move my tray out of the way actually. So take a medium bowl, and then just take the latex gloves out. Because just before we put these on, we need to split our cardamom pods. So the cardamom pods that are at the bottom here, we're just going to take these and we're going to split them. So just by holding one end and just opening the husk, you can then see the seeds that are inside. So you're just going to take the cardamom pods split them open to start with. And if you can, well, if you want to, you can give these a smell, because then you'll just get a beautiful aroma from your carnival toast. Obviously, when you're eating, it's not just about taste, it's also about the smell. Something smells really good. So just by splitting these open, what this does is it helps release all that fragrance. Nice. And once you split those, one of you guys can pop on your gloves. So then we're going to mix together our ingredients ready to marinate the chicken. So the cardamom pods that you've just split, you can put all of this into the medium-sized bowl. Yeah, here. Everything, yeah, all of it. All of it. All of it. So everything in here, you don't really have to worry about measuring, other than the chili. That's up to you what you preference of spice. Everything else, you can just go all over because we've measured everything for you. So the two dry powders, the garam masala and the nutmeg. I'm going to add these together first. So just give these a quick mix. Mix these in. Split all the seeds of the garlic. And then the garlic and the ginger paste. We're going to pop this in as well. So just mix these together. Just to make sure all those spices are mixed in nicely. You can already smell the aroma from everything. So next, we're just going to add the lemon juice. Perfect. Because we're going to ignore the vegetable oil and now head straight for the cream cheese. Okay, cream cheese, just with the tips of your fingers, just push down. Get this nice and soft. So all I'm doing is just pushing down with the tips of my fingers, just getting this nice and soft. Just like that's it from the lemon. So, once you've softened this up, we're going to add the natural yogurt. And it's really starting to smell the ingredients. It's coming through. And then finally, just before the chicken, we're going to add the vegetable oil. So this just helps make sure it cooks nice and evenly. So you can see a really nice marinade. So then the chicken, just piece by piece, add the thyme. And then just make sure you give this really good mix so that you get all of this marinade.
Could you do this with wings too? Yeah, you could do this with wings too.
Oh,
Same,
easy. Yeah.
same recipe, just
Yeah.
instead of breast, you can use wings.
Yeah, that's it. If you've got a barbecue going, you've got some hot coals, put them on a skewer and just hold it straight over. Like lean it on the barbecue and just let the hot coals. It's going to be very similar to a tap oven. It's such depth of flavour going through. So yeah, wings would be really, really good. So once you've given this a good mix, push it all into the centre, make sure everything is covered with this marinade. Because then we're just going to leave this to one side, just for 10 minutes or so. Just so the lemon juice would do its magic with the acid. We're just going to leave this to one side, like that.
Take the glove off too?
Take your gloves off now, yes. Keep your glove. Okay, so I just put my tray just to one side on the way. You guys got this one. Yeah, just put them in here.
So yeah, you can see the recipe there and everything like that. And they do bring you water because it's gonna get hot in the kitchen.
Right, so the recipe on here is for something else. So
Yeah, the shrimp, this is just like an example recipe.
okay.
The pasta taking out and I send you all the recipes. So this is just like an example of the shrimp.
Yeah, we didn't know if this recipe was supposed to be what we're making currently.
No.
Okay.
No, I just sort of pick this one from the favourite one. So this is the one we got the most about. Yeah, at the end of the class, I have a and I'll send you everything in that recipe so that you can, with it being an email, you can click on it and if you want. Alright, so just before we start cooking, I'm just going to move some of my pans because we're going to need both in cooking. So the bowl and the frying pans, if you just place these out of the way, so you guys have got a bit of space on the top, everybody on the back, you've just got some shelves underneath. So you just pop them down there if you need to use the shelves. Here. So you need this one, you need this one. You need the two salt pans. So the little one on the bottom, so you need these. Yeah. Yeah, so little on the bottom, on the top. So just before we start with these recipes, I'm just going to wash the grains. So you have some basmati rice and you have some dal. So the red lentils and the basmati, we're just going to give these a wash. Because these are two of the things that we always wash before we start cooking with. So using utility sinks, just fill this with water. Like that. And then use this abroad. Because as you notice, the water starts to go cloudy. This is just something that is used to help look after the lentils whilst they're in storage. It's the same with rice. So you can see it's really burning for the water. So this is just a coating that we're going to take off.
Oh, that's a hard one.
sushi rice, anything with pretty much a high starch. This is called a processed rice. These are the ones that you don't wash because you want that starch. You want the flavour from that grain. And it also helps obviously with sushi, give you that sticky rice in the hole, the same as the arborio rice and the risotto. You want that nice creamy finish, so you don't wash the rice with this. It's processed. It's a look after the rice. So as you can see with rices like that, they usually come in a nice box, they're usually weighed out with nice writing on. These are your processed rice. You need to make sure you keep that starch. These ones, you give it just a couple of rinses just before you start. Because you don't want this to take over the flavour of your rice. And the texture, because also so I just give this a good mix. But even on my second coating, even on my second mix, you can still see all of this like white lemon roasting. Don't want it. Get it out. Yeah, there's not many rice that you don't wash. Sushi, for paella, that's about it really. Everything else is good with maybe a bit better flavour. So, when one's ready, we'll start cooking the rice. So just before we start, I'll take you through the ingredients. So you just wash the basmati rice. At the top of there, you have 1 cup of chicken stock. Then you have some peas and some diced red onion. Then you have some cilantro, and then 2 ramekins just at the bottom. So this is how a whole garam masala. So you've got all the ingredients for the powder that you used, but this is the whole version, because this is what we're going to use to temper. And then you have some green chili. So this green chili here, this is up to you, because obviously everyone has a spice tolerance. So you don't have to add it all if you don't want, because obviously you can see there's quite a lot of chili here to rice. So it's up to you how much you want to add. So we're going to turn on our induction on the left. So you want to find the left-hand dial, and then make sure you check the top of the induction just here, because this is where it lights up. So you're going to go to the number 8.
You ever take the class in high school? Oh, I love it.
So there, using the olive oil from the front, we're just going to coat the bottom of the pan. So what we're going to do now, we're going to temper the garam masala. So you can be quite generous. So whilst this olive oil starts to heat up, I'm going to place all of my ingredients for my garam masala inside the oil. And I want this to come up to the heat nice and gently, so that we can get the best flavour. And then bring your pan up to the heat nice and gently. Yeah, I'm just going to bring this up to the heat nice and gently before we start frying up any of the ingredients. So this dish is called moto kalaf. So it is. The moto is the beef. Infuse this oil with the aromatizer to help infuse it. now the rice, the oil is nice and hot. We're going to add the onions. Give this a quick fry. It's already starting to turn nice and transparent. So we're going to now add the peas.
Oops. She said all the ingredients, so I added them all.
And get these nice and hot. So next up, this is where you would add your chili. So this bit is up to you. You want to add it all?
She said all the ingredients, so I kind of added all the ingredients. Oops.
So we're not going to fry that chili for too long, because obviously we don't want to get it bitter and weak. I don't like it too hot. So then next we're going to add the rice. So what we need to do is get this rice nice and hot, crack open the grain so it can take in all of the flavour that is inside your pan. So if it starts to get a little stuck, just move it off the heat, just for a minute, give it a stir and then add it back. Because you want to get this as hot as possible without it burning off into it. So just give this nice and hot. So everything that's inside this pan is now going into this rice and we're building the layers of flavour. So you can hear the rice already starting to split. You can hear it sizzling. This is good. That means it's getting hot. The bottom of the pan is starting to catch that starch. And this bit is the toasting of the grain. So you get a nicer flavour. So just lift it off. It gets a little bit stuck. Put it back on. So when I take this as far as possible. So now the pan is nice and hot. Not much oil left because it's already taken in by the rice. So now I'm going to add my stock.
This one? This one?
Yep. So you want the one that is 1 cup.
On the one that is 1 cup.
So if you give this a quick stir, make sure nothing is stuck. I don't want to take these pans too hot because we want our rice to have a nice even cook. So what we need to look out for now, we need to keep an eye on our stock. So don't stir this too much because obviously this is where you start to get very sticky rice. It's basmati, short grain, and it just breaks up really easily. So every now and again, give this a stir. Let the rice settle down. Once the stock is reduced down the pan, and you can start to see the rice surfacing at the top, we need to turn down our pans to number 5. So give it a stir, let it settle. All the rice will go right down to the bottom. So we want all this stock to cook out, all the excess water and the steam to go. So just keep an eye on your stock level. Then, once it does happen, we're going to go down to number 5. Start cooling it down so that it doesn't overcook. So in the meantime, once this cooks, we're just going to get the dal ingredients on. So the right hand regulators are the top inductions. We're going to take this to number 10. So we're going to go to the right hand side, go to the right hand side here, we'll light up, and then go to number 10. Once you're on number 10, we're just going to take the other stock place this inside the pan. Alright, so now these two are up, we're going to let that stock get hot. We're now going to send our chicken into the shower to cook. So if you take your bowls and your tray, we will just tray up this chicken. You can smell it when you take that tray up the bowl. So just using a little bit of olive oil, just loose the chicken into the tray. We're going to use a teaspoon from the front. Just rub on the olive oil to the tray. Back on the spoon. Because then piece by piece, just take the chicken and place it next to each other. So don't spread it out. Because by spreading it out, it dries it out. You want to place it nicely, tuck it next to each other across the tray. Because then the marinade has got nowhere to go. You're not going to lose it. You want to place it out. So just place it next to each other, all the way. And then just spray all of this good stuff out of the bowl. All of this marinade. Yeah.
So do you want the pieces actually touching?
Yeah, just so they're nicely like across the middle.
Oh, okay. So not like a mat.
Oh, no, okay. But yeah, just let next to each other all tucked
Oh,
in.
okay.
And it's cooking. Keep them together, because then you get all the gooey bits of the marinade. Oh, okay.
I know, so it's not there.
Already?
So far, I have to say, this is the most complex of these ones I've done. So I wouldn't do this one to start out. The Italian one is a little simpler. This is very involved. If you love Indian food, hey, but this is a very, very complex one of these classes. That's what I'm trying to say. And it looks like we're getting our plates right now for our tasting. So yeah, like she said in the beginning, we're going to be making this. We've got the rice boiling over there, moved it down to a number 5. We've got this. We're not getting instructed right now, that's why I'm giving you a little overview. We've got our chicken ready to go. The chef's coming back out, and we still have a lot more to do. A lot more to do. I'm making sure that got the same bowls and everything as everyone else. So
give us a quick stir. You can now see all this rice at the top. The water is evaporating. So I'm going to turn this down to number 4, actually. So keep an eye on your stock. Now I'm going to take the chicken.
bring it down to number 4.
Really, you can get the shower. Shower. get the shot?
So they're going to take this in the back because I think they have ovens back there. So they're going to take that in the back and cook it in the oven. This is a full setup kitchen right here, but everything can't happen right in front of you. So they're going to take that to the back while our rice is cooking here, while our it's chicken broth is starting to go. Chicken broth is starting to go. Rice is cooking. And we're gonna make some shrimp later. I mean, we're making chicken, we're making shrimp, we're making desserts, we're making a lot of stuff. This looks like a pineapple. So let's see. No, that's not pineapple. That is not pineapple. I think that's potatoes.
Alright, so our stock for our dal is boiling now. So we're going to add the lentils to this stock. This is the top pan. And these can just boil away once we finish on our rice. So give your rice a stir. And you will notice at the bottom of the pan there's very, very little moisture left. So this means our rice is getting ready. So give your rice a taste, because then we're going to adjust the seasoning. So we're just going to take some of the salt and pepper from the front, and again this is up to you, because it depends how much you like salt and pepper. So it definitely needs a lift. So you get the aromat. Nice and gently, so just add in some salt. So just keep adjusting this. Because now this is on nice and low, it's really hard for your rice to overcook. So just keep an eye on the bottom. If there's no liquid left, turn off your pan. The rice is now hot enough to continue cooking itself to just past that al dente stage. Because there is very little texture left for it in this way. Add a little bit more salt.
Looks like it's about to boil over.
Then, now my pan is off. This is also a really good time to add my cilantro.
Because the water is
So I'm
like
going to add
coming up.
the majority of my
Okay.
cilantro. Just a little bit for a garnish. Fold in that cilantro, get your seasoning just right, and then we can plate. So the little plates that Hugo has brought round, these are for the little tasting plates. So they are just at the front. You've got a couple of plates each, you can plate yourself up a little taste. So, your lentils, if you just turn down your regulators to number 6, these are about a good boil. Second. Right. So what I blend this little technique with the rice, you can actually do this with fresh rice. By toasting it like that at the start, as long as you've got the right amount of stock, you can't really overcook it because you're controlling it with the temperature. So by cracking it down in half, it just means that you don't have control of the texture and the seasoning. So if you cook this at full all the way, by the time you're tasting it and then you serve it, it naturally takes itself over. Because it's too hot. You know, you think you serve rice, you serve it like this. All that heat stays in the middle, and it just continues to cook. So that's the texture tends to get lost. So just by turning it down, throughout the end, right to the end, you can turn off your pan, finish off the rest of the dishes, and know that it's not going to continue to get hotter. It just sort of finishes itself off in that burning stage. So hopefully, I have a lot of people that say, hey rice, I hate cooking rice. Me and my son friends, I get it a lot. So hopefully this will help a little bit. So we are just going to add some more ingredients to this dal. So you need the turmeric from the bottom. So this ingredients for the dal, you need cilantro, you have 2 seeds, you have mustard seeds, and you have cumin seeds. Just below that, you have some ghee, and then some chili powder, and the one we need right now is some turmeric. So, yellow powder. This is going to go straight in.
This one, right?
Turmeric.
Okay.
Cook nicely. We'll give the dal a
And the
nice
last one?
colour.
I think so.
Next up, you're going to need one of your non-stick frying pans. So it's the one that has glucose on it. So the rice pan, pop them out the way if you're done with them. You don't come out and say you're not working on it.
That's it, right?
Yes, that's fine.
Sorry.
Just got some new ones, I'm very excited about. Alright, so the bottom induction. This one is also going to go on the number 6. We want both of our inductions on 6 so that the temperature is the same. Using one of the spatulas, we are just going to add the heat. So the heat is, I'm not liking what it is, basically clarified butter. So what this does means we cook at a lot higher temperature without it burning. So we're just going to let this come up to the heat nice and slowly. Because this is the tempering I was telling you about. So just by tempering these seeds, it just helps add the depth of flavour. So we're going to have this at the end of the cook of the dal. So taking the mustard seeds, the small black ones, and then the longer seeds, brown ones, with cumin. We're going to place this into the ghee and just get this nice and hot. Because we want to split open these seeds. Getting nice and hot now. So it's always good to add these at the start, just so it brings the temperature of the pans and the temperature of the seeds up without them burning. So you can have complete control of this temperature. Just move it around. Move around in the ghee. Nice and hot. Alright, so that's your seed popping. Now turn off your induction. So as soon as you see it start to split down the pot, turn off your inductions.
Not yet, not yet.
Then take the chili powder and add this to your pan. Just give this a quick stir. Mine's not quite there yet. So as soon as you start to see the mustard seeds try to split, this is them splitting. So they're nice and hot. I've not done mine yet because mine's not even close.
Almost.
So as soon as your seeds start to pop, add that chili powder and turn off your induction. Your oven is getting hotter.
We're almost there.
Now we need to toast up that chili powder. So I just turned off my induction. Just notice the seeds. Turned off my bottom induction, and now I've added my chili.
Yep.
Pan is nice and hot. You don't want to have the chili powder for too long, too hot, and then it gets really bitter. So just once you've stirred in that chili powder, we're going to add this to our garlic.
Stock pot?
Right, so keep hold of your frying pan once you have done. I'm going to use this in a second, but I don't actually cook off the cabbage dish that I have with this frying pan. This is flavouring that I want. So we're just going to leave this dark now, just a little while longer, just so all of those spices can work together. So number 5, it's nice and low. So we pop it down to the side, leave it nice and low.
Yeah.
Then, you just go towards the end, you have your ingredients for your cabbage. So you just take the cabbage and the diced red onions, and then the 6 ramekins that are just underneath it. So you have your curry leaves, chili, the hing powder, the mustard seeds, the coconut and the celery. So all of these ingredients here.
Cabbage, no.
So, using some of the olive oil and the frying pan we just used for our garlic. Just coat the bottom of the pan.
New pan?
Nice.
Same pan. Okay.
So the left-hand side, so we're just going to go to the number 8. So whilst that heats up, just make some table salt at the front, and then a teaspoon. We're just going to add just a little bit of table salt, so like a quarter of a teaspoon, so not very much, just the tip of the salt. So just a little piece, just at the end. We're just going to add this to the lentils. So what this will do is help draw out the moisture just a little bit. Then, as soon as we finish this cabbage, plate up both dishes. So, one of the spatulas on the front, the oil is getting nice and hot, it's got a nice smell from the olive oil. We're going to sample the seeds the same way as what we just did. So the mustard seeds can go in to this mat. We're going to let it get nice and hot. Because these ones, as soon as these start to split and try and escape, add your red onions. We're going to cool it back now. So we want as many seeds in here as possible. Escape.
Start popping, yeah.
Start popping, add your onions.
Start popping.
These are the other ones that are already quite hot.
You added these, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, so my seeds are already getting nice and hot. So just slowly off the red onions. Nice and quickly. And at the same time, we're going to add the curry leaves. These curry leaves are amazing for the aroma and smell. So add your curry leaves to the onions. Beautiful aroma. This dish is called cabbage cabbage. It's a really, really popular side dish. Lots of hot. Really nice and hot. The next up, we're going to have the powder. So there's a lighter powder. This one's called king. And if you give it a smell, you can smell that it's almost savoury. So this is like an MSG, basically. So it just adds that savoury note in the background. So we're going to fry this off into the onions. Then add your chilies. So again, this is your preference. If your pan starts to look a little dry, don't be afraid to add a little bit more olive oil. And what we need to do is we need to fry this cabbage. Just before we do,
I know, that's a bad one.
we're going to add the celery. Then you're going to add the celery and finally beautiful golden colour. Frying off the pan. Smells great. These are the things that add depth and flavour. It builds the layers while tasting things whole. So the turmeric is in, everything is in apart from your coconut. You don't want to have that yet. So add your cabbage.
More tricks about to do that. But once you smell that,
Marinate cabbage. And all those ingredients.
oh, good.
So give this a quick stir. Because next, we want to make sure we get as much flavour as possible into this. The salt in the ground at the front, the Himalayan pink salt, just do a nice layer all over the top of the cabbage. Because what this salt does is it draws out any moisture that is in that cabbage so that you get a nicer flavour. It's not bitter. Nice fry on it. So, just going to come and quickly check your salt. So, right hand side, then you're like perfect. Right hand side off. I'm not ready to this. So, yes, you can turn those off. So, the right hand side, we'll turn these off. And then we'll flake up over these. Alright, so then you can take one of your plates and your soup cup. So the cabbage, obviously I like my vegetables with a slight bite, and that's when they have the best flavour, and I'm going to say. If you might go a little softer, just turn down your pans down to 4, so that's half the temperature, because you don't want to keep frying this on hot, otherwise that's going to get really bitter. If you like it a little bit softer, leave this on, cook it a little bit further, or you can turn it off. So give this a taste. Check the seasoning, check the texture. But by turning it down, it gives you time. Oh, it's getting nervous. Turn it down. You've done the tempering, you've got the flavour into the cabbage that you need. Take the spoon, give it a taste. Take a little bit more salt, and a little bit more salt. So the texture is exactly where I want it to be. I'm now going to take the coconut. I'm going to add the majority of it. I'm just going to save myself a little pinch at the end for a garnish. And obviously coconut is nice and sweet. So this just helps to balance out that bitterness from the cabbage. So then once you're done, you can plate yourself up appetizing the and warm up your stomach a little bit. Good about these 2 dishes? I'm going to save the washing up. You've got 2 dishes in one pan. So, if you're ahead, save the washing up. All these flavours are all the same. You've got your mustard seeds, you've got your tempering, and that's all the used flavours are inside it. And add this to your cabbage. So then so at the same time, your salad will be ready. So, the cilantro, I'm just going to take the majority of this. I'm just going to save myself a pinch. I'm going to take out a pinch for a dime, and then have the rest. Hold this in, give this a taste. So again, it's up to you how much seasoning you like. I'm going to sniff. So this style, traditionally, is blended. What?
Alright, so now we've got this done. We've got our side dishes. I'm sorry, it's not the prettiest thing. I'm doing this one-handed. So, okay, in my hands with the camera. So,
As you can see, as soon as you get that tempering down, I understand why you do it. You see the flavour change.
chicken.
You taste it bizarre, you get the mustard, and the peppers, and then you get the chili, and it's all the different layers Probably taste buds starting to work together. So, plate off the chicken. Then we're going to fry it off. Medium samosas.
So, at least 2 dishes.
I'll save all these for later, so as quick as you can for the end.
Alright, so what we've done so far, we got the chicken, the rice, the cabbage, and the lentils there. I've not tried the chicken yet.
Wow. Let's do with frying wheel. I'm not going to go into wine yet. So just keep these all on the spot just for now, so we can fry off our ingredients in the third first. And then we'll do it now. So for this, you're going to leave your remaining non-stick frying pan. So the ingredients.
Open it.
So the ingredients we're going to start with potatoes on this line, put it next to my induction just so that I can easily get everything. So the potatoes, the peas, the cashew nuts, and the cilantro. Then you have 7 ramekins. So at the top you have ginger, which has been diced, and the same with the green chili. You have 2 seeds. So this time you have you have whole coriander seeds. So these are the round ones. And the cumin, so you've already seen this in your garden. Just below that you have some chili powder, and then you also have some garlic inside. So these are all familiar ingredients that we're going to use. And then this has to be one of my favourite oils to use. And this is mustard oil. So this is your mustard seeds compressed and split, and then you get this wonderful oil. And it will just add such a depth when you're frying into it. So you don't want to get it too hot, because it's a lot like olive. You don't cook it too hot, it gets really bitter. So you want to make sure you keep our hands at the right temperature. So the bottom induction, the left hand side, we're going to go to number 8. I'll just turn this on. And then straight away we're going to add that mustard oil. This is beautiful golden colour. And the smell as well that you're going to get from this really right. You can spatula as well. Yeah, I want it on.
Right?
Cumin and the coriander, so the round seeds and the long seeds. Because we want to separate these the same way as we do the rest. And you can already get that aroma from the oil. It is super strong, super deep in flavour. So whilst this heats up, I'm just going to take my cashew nuts and just split these. I'm just going to split them in half. The cashew nuts.
Oh, okay.
Just going to break them up. One too big, one too much. Just let them- It's a bit hard with your hands, you put it on work after you do it now. Just put it that way. Split these. And now oil will start to get nice.
That's not wonderful. It's like when you make sauce at cabbage or something.
So my oil is getting very hot now, so you can smell it quite prominently. So I'm going to start to fry things up. So the ginger, the chopped ginger, next to the chili. And then add that next. The ginger. So the next we're going to add the potato.
Okay. Oh, no. Cheers.
Now we add potato. And now we mix it.
There you go.
Right. Alright. So we just want to make sure we get these nice and hot. Ingredients down, with the sliding out of the pan, and then just pop it. So you push it down, and then slide in all the way to the bottom. And I get to the bottom, you put back to the top. But if the back is too hot, so if the pan is too warm, so get to the bottom, gives like a little hook to work. So it's easy to practice this out, it's easy to go faster, because the more you think about it, the more you do it. Alright, so we're getting nice and hot, we're getting nice Alright, so yeah, sprinkle the juice and the potatoes. So now we're going to add some more ingredients. So we're going to add some chili, garlic masala, so that's the brown colour, also the chili powder. Give us a quick fry. So, just to help enhance some flavors, we're going to add some salt. This is a nice flavor of the salt. Pour out any moisture from the ingredients. Rather than doing it, alright?
Now this is.
Yeah.
Alright, so almost
This one
5 minutes in.
Did you add ginger before?
Add some peas, sweetness.
Yeah.
These are naturally sweet.
It does smell.
And add some cashew nuts as well.
Add the peas. Oh, it did. Add the peas.
It's okay. I don't think
I'm just going to sprinkle a few of the potatoes, not all of them, texture. Hot. One final ingredient is cilantro. So I'm just going to add this now. Drop this down. No,
Why don't we come together?
Do we turn the heat down or is it good?
We're going to turn it off in a second. We're going to turn it off first. Yeah, you've added your cilantro, you've given it a red dot, you can turn off your production. So you can see. Got a nice fry.
That's how we get familiar.
Give it a taste. Check your seasoning. Make sure this is everywhere. So take the seeds, take the cashews, take the potatoes. That's it. Really good. Taste is good. If it needs a little bit more salt, don't make it add some more if you want to.
I think it's got a bit more salt.
Everyone has a preference.
That's the pepper.
So I'm just going to add a little bit more seasoning. Then I'm going to let this sit on the marble top. The reason for this is that I sort of want this to cool down whilst I get my dough ready for the samosa dough. So I want this nice and cool, so I'm going to put it here on the marble.
This is on the
Alright, so on this bit, I'm going to get the shot of tomato in the hand. Really, really
Show the
good.
pie, right?
Really good. Now I'm going to have to get sticky as I think I need myself on the rise. On this bit. So you make sure your inductions are off just before we start this dough. So move your frying pan onto a piece of marble so this cools down. Your frying oil, move down to your bottom induction. I'm not going to turn these on quite yet. You want them ready so when we do turn them on.
There? That's safe? Okay.
Yeah, so anywhere on the marble, keep it nice and cool, then it'll be easier when you make samosas. So you will need your dough cutters, your medium-sized bowl, half the shell, and a third utensil. You can see they want a faster, like it. In the world when it comes to that. So next, we're going to start to add our ingredients. So the ingredients we need are the black bowl, which is all-purpose flour, 2 ramekins, which is vegetable oil, and then the seeds. These are almond seeds. And then at the bottom, you have another pot of flour. So this is just dusting flour. This isn't kneading, you just need it nearby. So the 3 ingredients just here, and then Michelle also brought down some water as well to find our ingredients. So to start with, you will need the all-purpose flour. Add this to the bowl.
Yay. Flour.
Then you will need a teaspoon and the table salt.
Teaspoon and salt. Got it.
We are going to add half a teaspoon this time.
Yeah. This is
This helps to make things nice and crispy.
Better.
Salt, flavor. Once we've added the salt, we're going to add the ajwain seeds. These are very similar to a celery seed, very similar. Give us nice flavor. So now, just with one hand, find these ingredients together. Say bye. Okay. So mix all these ingredients together, and then make a little well in the centre, add the vegetable oil. A little bit of vegetable oil. Right, again. So, again, just use one hand. I promise there's a reason why we just use the one hand. Just mix this together, let it get nice. This oil is what's going to help us with a nice stretch. Olive oil. So, now with the water, it's really important we don't add all of it. We just want to add a little bit at a time, just so it combines to a nice dough. If you're not sure, ask me or Michelle, but I always just start with about a teaspoon at a time. It doesn't take very much to get these ingredients to bind together. But make sure you just use one hand. So add a little bit of water, crumble the ingredients, see it start to dry out. Add a little bit more. It doesn't take very much. So if your hand starts to get sticky, things aren't going so well. It's stuck to your hand, this bit here.
More water?
Use your dough cutter to take it off. Don't use your other hand, because then your other hand's in the same situation as your other hand. So just use your dough cutter to get off the sticky bits, because that's what you need to make this dough. So whenever you make a bread, pastry, anything like that, your dough cutter is actually your best friend, because it helps keep the work surfaces clean, your hands clean. Really squeeze these ingredients together. Stretch out that gluten. A little bit more, so I can't add it all of mine, I've got a little bit left.
Yep.
Really stretch out this dough. Push down with your palms so we can start to stretch the gluten in the flour. So as soon as your bowl is clean, transfer it to the work surface, because this then is going to be a lot easier for you to knead. So I've used my fists. Combine everything, and also my palm. It's getting hot right now. Got the heat. I think from the cat. Just for a little minute. It's a heat, it's very hot. That was the hot bit. So really stretch out this dough. You want to make this dough super soft. But you just need to spend a little time with it, stretching out that gluten.
Don't wash my hands.
Into your work surface. The last step. Down. Really stretch out this dough. You want this to get nice and soft. That's what you see already.
I think so.
Stretch it out.
Just a moment, I will help you.
So,
Okay.
what we're going to do now, we're going to turn on our left hand induction. So we want to go to the left hand side. So whenever we need, yes, push down nice and firm in the center. roll it out like that. Then on the fold, push down on that fold. And then just push it like that. So that as you fold, you get every piece. That's right, like that. Very nice. Good.
Are you from India?
This out.
Oh, so you do this all the time?
So that it's nice and
So
easy
we
for
just
us
like
to
this,
make-
sir. Just like this.
Start to roll this out.
Okay, so palm.
Yeah, just it's very easy.
Okay.
Yeah, like this one. Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to get it from
If
here.
it's getting stiff, just little bit flour, okay? Oh, little bit.
Oh, that's too much?
Yeah, it's okay.
Start to feel it super soft.
Okay?
That's all the glue to stretch it out. Same with pasta. So the more work you put into this now, the easier it will be when you start rolling this out.
So,
This needs to go to another set.
So I'm just going to roll mine out slightly.
Seven,
Not
yeah.
like
Yeah,
this.
7.
And then I'm going to cut
I was
mine
washing my hands when she said
in half.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to take one of my halves.
Just cut into two.
Oh,
Roll this
okay.
out, and then cut this into three.
So, there are 3?
Just cut into
2, then 3.
Then
So 6 total. Oh,
then
so many balls. Okay.
like ball.
Perfect ball?
Yeah.
Pieces. And then make these so little bubbles. All in around the hand.
this is what you have
This is going to be like the empanada class, right?
Yeah. This one you are not, so we just make later. For you only 3 4
Right.
Because they are
Yeah.
So we make only 4, okay?
Okay.
Because we are alone here.
Yep.
But this is for only tasting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll get more of it.
I
Yeah.
already making.
You already cooked in the bag.
Yeah. So after finishing this, we're gonna serve dinner.
Perfect.
So if you want, I
What
keep it on.
Okay.
If you want,
Yeah,
one,
we can make
you
it.
Make it. No problem.
I assume we need this knife?
Yeah. One by one, we're gonna do it.
Usually it's the marinating because you might have done great. And then you have one like that. And I always cave. I always come in and annihilate pretty much everything that I
Can
do.
I put it right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not. First of all, that's the great. So we have our 6 samosa balls. So just roll these out, flatten them out just with your hands so you get a nice little circle like this. It's always easier to start rolling when you naturally start it off. Instead of
I'll
just
go like
going
this.
straight down and you roll it, then what you do is you get on shape. So
On a long shape?
Now,
Then eat like this little bit. You want little bit flour and put.
and then next, you can pick the rolling bits. And this is where we start to do all of those things.
Yeah. Take back
Just
to this
a
side,
little
to this
flour.
side, make
You don't
a
need much.
circle.
Rub it into
If
the,
you want
work
little bit
surface.
flour, if it's getting
rub
sticky,
it onto the dirt.
little bit flour. Then you can
Make sure it's nice and dry.
turn it. Okay?
And then start to roll this out. So every time you roll forward, because then what you're going to do, just give it a quarter turn. Roll forward, quarter turn. And then this will Give me a circle. Roll forward. That's some flour, it's sticky, then water. Because then this makes sure that your wrists are the same. As soon as you start to do this, your wrist pressure changes. This is when it gets there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you can actually see the marble. Oh.
Nice and thin, so you get a really nice texture. Nice and thin.
So
And as you can see,
Yeah.
we do have 6.
we're rolling them out.
So as we roll these out, put these in half.
We're rolling them out.
Actually make 12. So actually expecting to make 12. We'll probably make 4, 6, depending on how hungry you are. So we'll just use 2 or 3 of these. I'm going to wash my hands with that. So you just want to make it 4, so we've got a couple each.
All right. One down, a couple more to go. But I won't bore you with this over and over. Stay tuned. I think we still got some shrimp to make. Coming up too. A lot of steps in this class. We're already at an hour and a half. So, very involved.
To make a cone. So the cone is where we put the filling. So from the center point here, start at the bottom, and then fold this across. So this gives you your shape. Because then the other side you fold over the top. So then what we'll do is we'll put a bit of pressure down, a bit of water, and then we'll keep this shut. Because then this gives you your pocket for your filling. So then once we push those down, we'll seal the top, and that's how you get the samosa. Good? Let's do it again. Yeah, so find the middle, the bottom, go straight to the top. You'll see this little triangular shape. Get it?
Good luck to me on that.
So once you get this shape, and just push down nice and firmly to seal this shut. Because then once you've found this half, the pocket created. Just push down nice and firmly along this edge. You seal it again. Then next, to make it go, you just either fold it that way, or fold it over. And then just using a little bit of water, put it along the edge, and the water will help stick everything together. There you go. And then this gives you your samosa pocket. Like that. It's sealed in. Just follow it around. Just make sure all of this is. That's it. So seal the end. Make sure it's all pushed down like that. You see it. Just push it straight down. You can want it a little bit. Just so your head is wet. We'll help with this. You can. Sometimes it doesn't go, mine's dry, so I just added a little bit of water and it'll just help hold it, because then you have your, that's really good. Really good. Good job. So you want this point to go up to the top, and this point to go over.
All right, so we're going to try this now. We are going to try this now. You'll hold right in the middle. I have to get low to show you guys. So, hold here. You bring it over. You hold there. Bring it over. And you have like a little pocket here. There we go. There we go. Kind of works. All right, I think we got it. All right, so we got filling now. Oh, you break it up a little bit. And boom.
And then add this into your pan.
And then we seal it on the top.
We seal on the top. Okay, just seal on the top.
So-
Make sure no open.
So none of it falls out, right?
No, it's like no. Just a moment.
Obviously go to your tap.
Seal like this. Just like this. Okay.
Okay. So that it doesn't come out in the oil.
It's not because oil not going inside.
Wet the top.
Make like this. How much you want? 2, 3, 4, and just
Okay, perfect.
Same.
Thank you.
I got.
All right.
I help you. You are
Wet the top. Seal it closed.
Okay, enough. Just cover it.
And just like that.
Like this, yeah.
So it makes the triangle
Yeah,
shape.
like-
Oh, okay.
like that. Exactly.
Perfect. That's so it's in that correct shape there. Okay, dokie. Make the rest of these and get back to you in a second. So with the dippy spoon,
Place it.
that's how you make sure it doesn't rip, right?
You can do a couple of
Interesting.
these at a time.
Couple of these. 2 pieces.
Okay, perfect.
Just leave it this. After this.
And then they'll come up to the top. Okay, perfect. So now we're cooking with oil.
Now you can
We're not perfect at this. Trust me. But now we're cooking. So now we get our little slotted spoon and put that in the oil. Already got 2 of them done there, but we'll just move it there. And one of the cool things was, how do you know if your oil is hot enough? You actually just take a little bit of onion here, and if it floats, it's hot enough. We did that earlier, and you can see we've got a nice extra crispy piece of onion right there. Those are onion rings. Yes, fried onion rings, but there's no coating on them. So I don't know if they're really onion rings, but we're frying up 2 more of those samosas real quick. We've been tasting as we've been going along. Actually, I haven't tasted that one. Again, this is just tasting portions. Got a little cold. Still good. Got a little cold. But we still have, I guess, another main course to make. Or just some shrimp. You'd think we'd make a dessert or something, but another main course of some shrimp to make. Stay tuned. We're at the point where everybody's like doing their own thing at different phases right now. Just kind of frying and doing stuff like that. My God, look how much oil that onion soaked up. That's crazy. So, we're just waiting for those samosas. I don't know if there's a dip or something, but I don't think we're going to bake that. Alright, so the samosas are
The
done.
remaining 6 ingredients.
Okay, go.
So just before we turn on our
Last
induction,
dish.
we're just going to split the carbon pots the same way as what we did right at the start of the cook. So you want to split open the carbon pots. You want the aroma.
Let's split these again. That is a lot easier with 2 hands. So I'll see you once they're split.
Of course. You're right. Actually, it's really big blocks.
So, do one more spatula. Yeah, that's right. We're going to place it there. So that's going to get nice on the box. So, start these off and get them nice and hot. When they start to split, add your red onions. Your colouring box. And your ginger. Get a little bit hot, take it off the heat for a second, whilst giving this a stir. So you want to get eggs, you want to dry up that sugar. If it gets a little bit too hot, don't be afraid to just move it off. Just to control that temperature and then put it back on. Just lift it up, let it fall and set, and then put it back on. You want it nice and hot, get it nice and dry. The next, a piece of fresh chili and the curry.
All right.
Next, the tomatoes. So, help with the moisture, add some salt. Right over the top. Roll out that moisture. Hold it up with the salt. Roll it out with the salt. It's a really nice quick fry. Hold it with the salt.
That's wonderful.
Alright, is everyone alright? Okay. So fry up these ingredients. And now we're going to add the chili. Obviously again, preference to you. Add that chili. You see now I've added that chili and just pull down dramatically. So just let the tomatoes start to soften. Just start to cook. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to add my turmeric. Right over the top. I'm going to turn this induction right down to 4. We've done the frying, we've done the temperature with the temperature.
No, it's on 8.
So down the floor. Let's put it
So
down.
it was on 8, we're going to go right down to 4. Because our last ingredient is coconut oil. So we don't want these pans too hot. Because we want to keep it nice and creamy. If we add it while it's too hot, it will just split. And you won't get a nice flavour of it. You want that sweetness. Like your pans being too hot. So you can cool it down. Let the tomatoes blend up. At the end of the spatula. You'll see it getting nice. Colour from that flavor. The pans have just cooled down. So now we add the coconut milk.
Okay.
Stir it in.
All my mom. So,
Oh. Oh. Please don't be too high, because you want to keep that sweetness and creaminess from that coconut milk. So give this a taste. A little bit of sauce. Have a taste. And now would be a good point to adjust your seasoning. The shrimp doesn't take very long. So my shrimp is now ready.
salt and pepper. Thanks, perfect.
So soon as your shrimp is done, you can turn off your inductions. And then in your final soup cup, you can add the shrimp. Take out all the shrimp, add it to the soup cup. So then the remaining ingredients, you can just pour straight over the top. So together, a really nice, quick, final dish called shrimp moilee. That's the one that's on your iPad. So, as far as the cooking goes, that's it. So you can now go and put all your meat and wine and dining. So I hope there's learn a few little tricks. Yes. It will help.
More than just a few cats.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe more than a few.
So you put the shrimp on the bottom and then everything goes
I
on
just
top.
put the sauce right up the top of it. Mix it with all the delicious ingredients and so much fun.
Wonderful.
Just really nice to you guys. Really nice.
So we are finished cooking everything. It's kind of weird because you have the chance to eat along the way, and we're going to have the same food prepared by the guy who was helping me before, the professional chef here, who's actually from India. So I want to see how he does there. Here. She's saying that she's got her plates she prepared home. Nice. The nicely prepared plates. There we go. Okay. Now the samosas would normally have a dipping sauce too, right? Or that's what I'm saying. No, but when you make them, you make a sauce with them too. Oh, okay.
Any nice chutney, mango chutney, anything like that you can definitely. It's actually really nice and it's not spiritual.
Yeah. And this is one of the only ones, the evening class, because I think it's the last one I've done that you don't make a dessert, correct? You make a lot of dishes. Right?
We don't make a dessert in this one. Well, we don't make a dessert in the evening.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
We do it at the end of the
Right. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, we don't make desserts.
Okay.
The desserts are more the daytime ones. Like
Oh, okay.
okay.
Oh, okay. So you focus more on the entrees for the dinner ones than the desserts. Very cool.
It's when we serve desserts.
Cool. You do actually have a lot left over. Now, again, I was making a double portion, and I'm doing it myself. But you know, the thing is, do I really need more of this? We'll sit down. We'll have some conversations. But do I really need more of it? I don't think so. But you can see you have different camera. No, there's just one camera view. I want to try and click the other camera views. There's only one. Done. Okay. No. There's one camera D. Oh. I guess I changed the camera view. Yeah. That was camera D. Just takes a second to load. So yeah, that's giving a top-down view. We don't make a dessert, but she said there is a dessert. So we've tried all that. Cleaning up time now. So he's going to clean up. You made it all in the back, right?
Yeah.
It's all ready. He made it, right?
Yeah.
And dessert too, I heard. There's a secret dessert that he made in the back.
Yeah, we have to make sure.
So, yep, we're going to have a seat and do the rest of it, the full dinner, after we cook for the last hour and a half-ish. Yeah, no, not hour and a half, sorry. This was 2.5 hours? Wow. This was 2.5 hours already. Goddamn. Long class.
Enjoy it. So the first one I have Baron Harsat. This one is product of California. The bottle was in 2022. And then this wine will be perfect with the white wine. Okay, so the second one I have Tres Lagunas. This one, the wine is product from the Spain, and the bottle also was 2022. And this wine will be perfect with the red meat. Sorry. So thank you so much. I hope you will enjoy your dinner here. Thank you.
Alright, so now we get kind of all the dishes back together. We have sauces now. So we've got samosas and we got the chicken, and I think the only thing we're missing here still is the shrimp. So the shrimp are missing. Then dessert is coming too. So stay tuned. Also, I do want to let you know that wine and soft drinks are included in this, and don't count against your drink bags for that day. There's a red wine from Spain, 2022, and a white wine from California. I'll show it to you real quick. So this is that is the white wine from California, Baron Herzog. And then this is Grenache from Spain, Tres Lagunas. So again, you've got sparkling water, you've got flat water, you've got ice, you got all kinds of different sodas, should you want them included. And as of right now, I think it's a $65 price point. Just FYI. Alright, so we've got a dessert, which is like a rice pudding. Let's see how it is. That's a little more viscous than I was expecting. Let's see.
I'm going to try it. At one bit.
No.
I don't normally get Swedish.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
A little strange. A little strange. Oh, but actually good.
Thank you.
Oh no. It's sweet. It's nutty.
Wow.
It's like a baklava almost.
It's like dessert. It's dessert spaghetti.
Dessert spaghetti.
Yeah, there you go.
No, thanks. I have a question. Could I take mine? You can finish it, but then use
We're good. 3 hours and 15 minutes later, we have finished. It is called Mission Masala Tiger, and yes, it was a mission. This is Richard from No Pants Profits saying, if you like Indian food, I don't love Indian food, but I wanted to do this course because this is the big one. But if you love Indian food, this may be the event / dinner / cooking class for you. There was a lot of leftovers there and stuff like that, but They getting ready. I'll tell you, these people work their tails off, especially on C days. They're doing like 5 or 6 classes a day on the C days. From the port days, I think they just have maybe there's an afternoon one, but I don't think there's an afternoon. Yeah, maybe there's an afternoon one and then an evening one. But Mission Masala Tiger. That was a mission. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go have a beer or two. I'll probably go sleep. And reminding you that when you wear no pants, the only thing you got left to lose is your shirt. Have a great one. Bye!